Hey, Jesus can't see my search history as long as I use NordVPN, sponsor of today's episode. Use code Internet
Please
Friends.
sponsor us.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Internet Friends, the episode where one of us gets off the island. Spoiler alert, it's not Seth.
No, I'm in the casket and I wither away like a vampire.
I don't know how much of the pre-show I'm gonna leave in for it, but I guarantee you I'm gonna keep portions of that pre-show in because that was gold.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
Remember back when I used to say that we're not a political show?
No.
I think I did that for
Different times.
I think I did that for 3 episodes.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah,
has happened
guys.
in that time so much.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh
no,
my
like
God.
we're at the point where it's just like, oh no, again, fuck ICE, fuck Trump, fuck like the police, everybody just like, Mondani for president. I don't care if he's not eligible. Like at this point, like fuck
Free
it.
Palestine, free
Rules don't
Congo.
matter. Yeah,
Free
free
Sudan.
Palestine, free Congo.
Netanyahu is a war
Sudan.
criminal.
Communism. That's my red flag. I stole that. I stole that joke. I'm sorry. From a woman too. That makes it worse.
You won. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Cis white man.
Look, there's a
Oh,
reason why
I
every
didn't mean
time
to.
there's a reason why every time Bree says like, I don't know if I'm gonna make the show this week, it's like we're postponing.
Yeah.
We can't have the show be 2 guys with a
can't.
microphone.
We can't.
We can't.
We can't. We cannot become the Rogan cast.
Oh. Anyway, so yeah, welcome back to the show, guys. It's been a long couple of weeks. I had a very, very long few weeks, so we had to postpone the show a little bit, which is fine. But we're finally here, and we are here to talk about our previous homework assignment, which was Widow's Bay, which was recommended by Bree. This is a show that is streaming on Apple TV, and I had never heard of it, actually, up until this point. This is actually my
really?
first exposure to it, and I specifically went out of my way to basically learn nothing about it until I was actually watching it.
That's smart.
Yeah, so that helped give me a pretty good perspective on it, and I also will say there was only one moment in the show where it's just like, oh, that's where that meme's from. Which I'm sure we'll talk about later in the show. But anyways, Breeze, this was your homework assignment, so go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, honestly, I hadn't heard about it a ton when I first started watching it. Just a friend of mine had posted about it and she's like, it is so good. And the poster seemed really interesting. I was like, what is this? And I happened to be visiting my partner and we were looking for a show on Apple TV because we want to watch the show that has John Hamm in it. But I was like, wait, Widow's Bay. I've heard about this. Let's check it out. And it's definitely not a genre that I tend to go towards. I'm very
This was not a Bree show.
No, definitely not. I
because we've done a
horror's
lot
not
of
my
your
genre.
stuff that we've done recommended from you, and it's very specific, and I've enjoyed, I would say 90% of the stuff that you've recommended. I was just like, this is not a Bree show as watching it. This is more of a
Yes.
Seth wheelhouse, I would
Yeah,
say.
we'll get to that.
But yeah, no, honestly, that's what kind of intrigued me about it. And we dove into it. We binge watched it because we were just like, wait, this is fucking good. And I will say, I hesitate to call it horror. It's like a thriller with horror elements, kind of somewhere in between that. But I want to get more into that because I think the show does so many things so well. But I want to kick it over to, let's start with Seth. What do you think?
Okay. So I oddly, when this show premiered, my mom told me about it. Because people who don't know my backstory, I'm sure I've mentioned it on the show. My mom and I used to watch the X-Files when I was 4 years
that
old.
tracks. Everything
Way
makes
too
sense
young.
now.
Yeah. And so my mom, we were talking one day and she's like, oh, I started watching this new show called Widow's Bay. You got to check it out. And I was like, yeah. Okay, mom, I got to go. I'm sorry. Yeah. And just completely blanked it. And then I started seeing a couple clips on TikTok, specifically the one at the end of the serial killer slasher episode.
Yep, that's
she's
the
got
one I
the
was
shotgun.
talking about. That was the one I was talking about. I was like, oh, that's where that meme's from. And it's so funny that I watched that entire show and did not clock that was the same actress from that clip.
Yeah. And then immediately after, I started seeing people be like, hey, this is like a sleeper hit. This is something that like everyone should watch. So I was talking to my mom and I was like, hey, have you watched Widow's Bay? And she was like, I told you about that like 3 weeks ago. And I was like,
There's
oh,
a
okay.
reason that we make these episodes homework assignments, because we have to force each other to watch
Yeah.
these things. Otherwise, we wouldn't.
But going back to like that, this is more of a me pick. The comedy / somewhat horror is so like something that I am 100% on board with. That I was like, it, in some ways, feels like this was made for me, because comedy and horror. Going back to watching X-Files as a young child, horror and comedy are my first two loves. I love the horror genre. I do wish this pushed more into it than it does.
Yes, I would agree with that.
It is still a very good show, and I love all of the characters. Everyone is so well performed, so well written. Just I love them. But that's what I'll say for right now.
Yeah, no, I more or less agree, and like I said, like it's just like this definitely feels more like a Seth pick, because I know Seth's sensibilities a lot more, and I think more specifically, going back to like the horror comedy bits of it, it was very well balanced. Like,
yeah,
the comedy aspect of it isn't like Marvel level, just like unnecessary quip to break tension. Like it's all sewn in and fits. Like every bit that you laugh, I would say like the second to last episode with the slasher and the shotgun bit was, I think, probably the most campy they went with it.
I would agree.
Arguably, that was the most campy bit, but it was like a very good twist on it, because even when that was happening, I was like, oh, so we're doing the Michael Myers thing.
Yeah.
Like it was like this is basically just Halloween happening in this episode, at least for the first bit of it. But no, I liked how basically the comedy was sewn into where it's just like it didn't feel out of place. And and the horror wasn't so like classic jump scary that you ever felt like there was never like the tension that you feel like waiting for the jump scare kind of thing. I was always really relaxed watching the show. It was never, dread that I felt, but it was kind of one of those things. I would say, like, I found a lot of it predictable because I found the beats really early. But other than that, like, it was one of those things where, like, I really enjoyed it for the most part. I watched it with Sam for the most part. I'm not much of a show binger, so, like, I have to break shows up over the course of at least, like, a week, so I only watch, like, 2 or 3 episodes at a time. I literally just watched the last episode an hour ago.
Same.
So...
I also did. But it's funny you mentioned that, because I as well am at a point in my life when I can't really binge anymore. And when I try, I end up taking breaks. Yeah. And but this was one I put on the first episode, and it was getting kind of late, and I was like, well, I'll fit one in tonight. And then immediately, to Bree's point of just like, this is so good, I got to keep watching. Immediately, it became that Portlandia skit about Battlestar Galactica, where I was like, let's just watch one more. I gotta watch one more. I gotta be up early tomorrow. Whatever. And suddenly it's 3:00 in the morning, and I've watched 4 episodes in a row, and I was like,
in fairness, I do expect you to stay up till 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah, well,
I have the TikTok records to prove it. Anyway,
Your Honor.
As I saw at 2:00 in the morning, he was sending me thirst traps. He couldn't have committed this murder unless he was really horny while he was stabbing that drifter.
I have a friend who's a nurse, and she texts me. She works the night shift, and she'll text me all the time simply because she knows I'm up. And she's like, hey, you're the only one I have to talk to.
You get the, hey, you up text, but it's not for horny stuff.
But it's, I'm at work and bored.
I know you're up.
Are you on your lunch break? Like, what are we doing? I can pull up in the parking lot.
I mean, hey, we can. She lives so far away.
He didn't say he wasn't down. Let's let the record show.
Well, for her, I'm always down. At this point, it's been so long, I would just fucking anything. Okay, Okay, we don't need to be that quiet after I say I haven't gotten laid in a while. It's not that desperate.
I was gonna say, I did. Very similar. I watched quite a few episodes in a row, and I have fucked my sleep schedule because I was watching this show because I kept watching probably one too many more episodes than I should. I will say what's kind of odd about the show, and I just want to mention it briefly. The episode times are very random.
They are.
And, like, it's 45. Like, one episode I think is like 28 minutes long, but the finale is 45. The one before that's only 30. And I was like,
longer ones.
Yes, I've never seen that before.
I do appreciate that not a single episode is more than an hour long.
Yeah.
Yes, it makes it so much easier to binge.
So nice, because one of my biggest complaints with shows like this is that, like, everybody's like, "Hi, would you like to watch an entire season of like 10 episodes of things that are the length of a movie?" And I'm just like, not really. No, I can't.
And it doesn't need to be, which I think this show does so well. It really cuts the fat a lot of the time. Like, it really tells you what it needs to with, I feel, almost no to very little filler. Like, it really makes sure it progresses the plot at, like, it has a pretty steady pace, I would say.
Yeah, and even times when it like has these long scenes of silence, I'm specifically talking about the last episode at Ruth's house.
Yeah.
The reason for the time. Too. Oh, is it? All right.
It was like almost an hour. It was just under an hour, but yeah, it is the longest runtime.
Okay. But like the reason those scenes are so long and that silence hangs in the air is because you're supposed to be feeling the weight of the decision that the mayor is making.
Yeah.
And so like there's a purpose behind when they do let it sit.
Yeah. And I do think they maybe like hammered home a little too hard, especially with just like bringing up the trolley problem and everything else like that, like making it very like obvious, like this is what's happening right now.
Yeah,
I kind of like that, honestly. So
yeah, I didn't hate that.
No, so like Seth, I was just gonna say they feel like real people. These characters feel like real people, and they act like real people, which I think is like one of the strongest things about this show. Like, I would do the same fucking thing in this situation.
Yeah. Everybody's inherently flawed, but not hateable, because that's one of the problems I have with a lot of modern media.
Except Kathy.
Well, yes, but that was the point. But no, like so much of like modern television, especially in TV shows, is just like, hey, here's a show with nobody's likable, everybody makes bad decisions, everyone's really stupid. It's just like they're all flawed characters, but nobody's incredibly like hated. They're just like, okay, yeah. You know, the mayor's making decisions that like aren't necessarily rational, but he's doing what like I feel like a normal person would do in his position, whether or not I agree with them.
Yeah.
I did hate the kid though.
No, I hated his friend.
That too.
Like he fucking sucked.
That's true.
I was actually kind of rooting for him dying at any point in the show. But
he should have been the one who died at the end.
He should have been. Oh, and when I'll get back to what I was going to say. When she sat in the chair, I was like, "Don't sit in that fucking chair." It's obviously.
I thought for sure I was going to clamp down. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Just saw trap one of them in. But speaking to like how well the characters are written and that they feel like real people, and also how the comedy is played. One of my favorite jokes is in the flashback episode with Sarah, where the whole town is like, you need to think of your children. And she goes, I just met them.
I laughed so fucking hard at that.
They're not my fucking kids.
Me and Sam,
great
both watching it, we're just like, yeah, no, they're not my kids. Fuck them.
Yeah, no. Why do I care
I just met them 2 weeks ago. Like, I didn't give a shit about the kids.
I was going to mention that episode specifically for that reason, because I'm like, I think that's a really tough thing to balance with like modern humor sensibilities in a different time period, but they really balanced it very well. Like the dialogue still felt natural, but she was like even when she runs into the room and she's like, oh my God, this is happening. We have to do something. There's like the group of people there, and she's like, let's do something. Like she's got to stop her feet.
Yeah,
she's like now.
Hey, I'm the one who lives in this fucking household. Can we please fucking do something?
He chained me in. Speaking of that episode, real quick, in one of the first episodes, the priest like runs up to that well, and I wrote this note because I thought it would be a funny little callback for us, which is that the well from Night in the Woods? And then later on in the flashback episode, she's climbing out of it. And I wrote, oh, this is the well from Night in the Woods.
oh shit.
Kind of. No, I did appreciate kind of the ways that the show decided to subvert expectations.
Yeah.
Like specifically with the flashback episode, I was just like, oh yeah, no, the church people are not the good guys here.
Yeah, no.
But again, like it wasn't that they were necessarily the bad guys; they were just naive.
Yeah. Well, and also, like, the founder was a bad guy. He had
Yeah.
made Legion with the creature of the island or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if I saw that, I can see why the priest would be like, no, we gotta take care of this guy. People are going missing and he's acting weird. He's got this weird thing around his neck.
Yeah. No, my I think one of my main notes from the end of it is just like, so nobody left anybody like a SOP or anything of just kind of like, hey, so when shit starts going down, this is what needs to happen.
Kind of.
The videotape,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. In the whatever bunker. I liked that. I like that hint because it also kind of hints that their theory of killing the last of that bloodline that made the original pact.
Yeah.
It kind of throws that out because it is implied that like somebody else made that same pact and that's why they've been doing these sacrifices.
Right.
And yeah, I liked that. I liked what's his name, Daryl or whatever, coming out and like right as everything they finally calmed down the crowd and being like, "We're all gonna die in here." This is
understandable reaction too. Like you can't be mad at him because like holy fuck, he's like, "Whoa, shit's going." Like I'm not for this.
Yeah,
he's like a real human moment.
Yeah, going back to how like they could have gone darker with this on a lot of different turns. I was just like, oh, last of his bloodline is just like I knew like literally once they established that, I was like, oh, it's his son. Like I knew that my head the entire, even when they like gave us the red herring, I was still like, it's totally his son. But as it went on, I was just like, they could have gone darker and been like, he had fooled around with that girl, got her pregnant, died in the chair, and the girl, like, because she's pregnant with the seed, like, bloodline continued. Didn't do that. Glad they didn't. It would have gone a little bit too. That's a bridge too far. But regardless, you're right. Like, it's just like, again, the show is full of red herrings, and like they're just assuming that it's the bloodline thing, and not just like this is just how the island works.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and to speak of that, because again, once they introduced the bloodline, I was like, oh, the son. I had the same thing. But then when they introduced that it was Ruth, because of how well they set up things early on for like other payouts, I was like, oh, Ruth has been this character that's just existed in the background. She's always been there. Mm-hmm. And so I bought it. I completely bought it. And then once it was revealed that it is the son, I was like, oh, I don't know. I kind of liked that it was just Ruth.
Yeah, and I did kind of like that too. If they had committed to that, I would have been fine. My literal thought was literally like, it's either Patricia or the son. It's one of the two. Like, I was like, maybe it could be Whit, but like, I'm just like, I think it's either the son or Patricia. I think Patricia would have been funnier.
Patricia would have been pretty funny, especially after that witch episode.
Oh yeah, no, and that was where my head was at with like saying Patricia was just like, she had the witch episode, she was like doing all the other kinds of stuff. I could see her being like, hey, I'm the problem. Fuck all of you. Love Patricia as a character, by the way. One of my like the favorite character. Of the
Patricia show. Is precious is a note that I made. I love her. Like, well, and that's the other thing, because the only clip that I had really seen was her with the shotgun. When the episode started and it was focusing so much on her, I was like, oh, this is the serial killer episode. This is, he's going to show up. So it ended up working in this weird way where I didn't see like what was happening with the self-help book that turned out to be like a witchy thing.
Right.
Because I was expecting the serial killer to show up.
That's probably my favorite episode, if I'm being completely
honest. It's a great episode.
It's great on the rewatch too, because I will say like, so I watched episode like 1 to 8 with my partner, and then I I had to travel back home, so I had to watch it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch it again from the start. And I arguably this show is even better on a rewatch, just because I feel like I'm catching a lot more of the subtle notes. Like the party episode, they give you so many hints that shit is going really fucked up, like very early on, and I missed all of them. And I was like, oh shit, yeah. I mean, they kept commenting on her tiara, and I was like, oh, because she's wearing a fucking headdress of antlers and dead animals, and they're being so nice about it. And I was like, oh yeah, they really did tell us this was happening the entire time. So
the only thing in that episode that I really pinged was like when she hands out the punch and people are drinking it. I'm like, it looks like there's something like thick in the glass, and it looks like there's something else in there. But I love what's her name, Rosemary, in that towards the end of that, where she's like,
Rosemary is such a great character.
She's great.
She's so good.
But she's like, I know you didn't want me to say anything, but I have my reservations about what you're doing. And then Patricia like comes out of it, sees the headdress, the sunken in eyes, the dead birds and rats on the table. And she's like, you had your reservations? You couldn't say anything else about this?
I feel like Rosemary's been around on the island so long that like nothing shocks her anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
Like she just gives that vibe of like the elder person who's just like fucking just like, I've seen some weird shit, dude. Like I have my reservations, but like I'm just like, and that's what I enjoyed most about her character. I loved when he was going through his shroom trip, and like she's driving him around and like stops at the gas station, just doing lottery scratchers. He comes back in and he's just like, no, I told you to get the fuck out. And she's just like, fucking.
That's my shoe. I gotta get my shoe. I liked that episode a lot. Too.
Such an accurate representation of a shroom trip, by the way.
Yeah.
I haven't done shrooms in, I want to say 3 years, and like I did them when I was in a cabin in West Virginia, and like it was very funny because in the episode the dealer goes like, hey, just don't look in the mirror. It's just like, yes, correct. Because I remember just staring at my pupils for a solid like 20 minutes.
The last time I did shrooms, I went to the art museum, and
that sounds fun.
Yeah, it was great. But me and my friend just ended up standing in front of one picture, like right as they were hitting, and we were there for like 20 minutes. That's so
just appreciating the art.
Exactly.
Yeah,
the nuance.
Dude, the amount of details you can pick out. And I crashed. So fun. I love when this happens, guys.
It's good for once per episode. Yay! We did it!
Yay!
I like how this happens once per episode now.
It has to. Yeah. It's part of it.
It's great.
Anyways,
it's a bit now.
Anyways, I was about to ask. So, Brie, tell us about the last time you did shrooms.
I've never done shrooms, so
okay. So, Seth, we're gonna buy tickets to Chicago. We're gonna get shrooms. And we're gonna go over to Brie's place, and then we're gonna drive her to Canada.
Let's go. Yeah,
and then we're gonna drop her off at her partner's place, and then be like, "Hey, your problem now," and then drive back to America.
She's been a nightmare.
Oh no, this is right after we just gave it. They haven't hit yet.
Oh no!
And then we have your partner report back to us.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds great. I love this idea. I'll
and
let
then we
know.
have your partner on the podcast instead of you, and then they tell us exactly what happened the entire time.
Perfect. That'll be the homework assignment that week.
Minute by minute.
So good.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
Just to cap off the story, we realized after a while that we had been standing there for far too long, and there were like other people around. So finally, like one of us just goes, I like the lines and their use of space. Yeah.
Perfect. Nailed it. No one will know.
Yeah, no, we're just really into it. Really appreciating.
Connoisseurs, really.
My only problem is like literally after I had come down with it, like it was like 3:00 in the morning and I was wired. Like it was just like
Oh.
whatever like they claim pre-workout does to you, that's what I felt like. I was so high energy and well rested. I was just like there was a snowstorm happening outside. I was like, I want to go out in the woods and fight a bear real quick, just because like that's the level of energy that I had.
Oh my goodness. That sounds
I
terrible.
haven't had that with shrooms, but yeah, it's so funny coming down and being like, "Whew, that was a trip." Ripping off your shirt and heading out into the woods to like go fight a bear. That's
In a
awesome.
snowstorm.
Specifically.
In a snowstorm. Screaming like Wolverine.
That's how it felt.
Oh my god.
You've got like shot bottles that you broke taped between your fingers.
Well, dude, that's just what my college years were like in Albuquerque.
True. I believe that.
Yeah,
I believe that.
Everybody remembers that episode of Breaking Bad.
Do I?
It's been a minute.
Yeah. What were we talking
I wanted
about?
to ask yes, I want to ask, like, were you guys like into this like right away, or not? Because I feel like for me, I liked episode 1 and it piqued my interest, but episode 2 is what really sold it for me. When he had to stay at the inn, because I feel like that's where we get and this is something that it's funny, Aaron, that you mentioned that you felt pretty chill watching the show. I'm like, I think this show builds tension so well, and because it subverts the expectations, sometimes the tension just keeps staying high until they deliver it later. And I feel like the inn episode does that really well. It could easily go for the cheap jump scares. Like it sets up for the cheap jump scare almost every single time, and then it chooses not to do it, which I was like, oh, I fucking love this.
I think because it was sold as a horror comedy, like that made me relax a little bit too much to really feel any of the tension, because like that's how it's built. It again, going back to the thing where it's just like I hadn't heard of the show previously, if you had never recommended the show for the show, I probably would never have watched this, because one, I was never going to pay for Apple TV. By the way, remind me to cancel my 7-day trial like after this episode, just make sure I'm not paying for it later.
Hey, you might need it with my homework assignment, but
oh fuck, god damn it, Seth. It's fine. I've made you pay full pop for video games before, so like that's fair. But no, like yeah, I feel like just kind of the way that it was sold and everything that I had seen, because I went out of my way not to look anything up, like only just like what the synopsis was, and when it just said horror comedy, it's like, okay, it's gonna have these kind of moments and things. And I was very surprised, again, going back to like the balance of it, because the comedy aspects of it are subtle, and I think subtle and inherently human. Like they don't feel like it's not slapstick, it's not camp, with the exception of like what we talked about with the shotgun and the slasher scene bit. Like that was that's the one thing where it's just like I feel like you could have taken this out of the show and it would have been fine. But it just never rose to that level, and I think it also was one of those things where, because I understood how flawed the characters were, it made it a little bit easier to like not like fear for them inherently, because again, like it's just like, okay, you're not like somebody who I'm in love with, you're a character moving through this world. I think the only other thing about it was in the earlier episode, you're just kind of like, is there actually something going on this island, or is it all in their head? It wasn't until I would say about episode 3 where it's just like, okay, it's obviously something's happening.
Yeah. Well, and Bree, to answer your question, I was on board from the start. I really liked the first episode and immediately picked up on like how they played with horror tropes, like the Harbinger, right? The played by I can't remember his name, but he's Bill Dauterive in King of the Hill. Great character actor. How like that crazy, you gotta believe me guy doesn't just disappear. He's then like a valued member of the team for the rest of it. I also liked how they turned the woman in white legend into the sea hag. I really liked that episode and that like premise. Anyone who's watched the pilot episode of Supernatural knows what the woman in white is.
La Rona, basically, just slightly modified.
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, I
generally
was on board,
speaking,
and I
yeah.
forgot what else I was gonna say. What was your most recent point, Aaron? It was with
No, we're just talking. My most recent point was literally just like, the characters kind of move through and are pretty normal, and like I wasn't married to any of the characters, so
oh
something happened
yeah
to them.
no, I remember now. It's that like obvious weird shit is happening on the island, but it doesn't affect everyone. So you can kind of buy into that.
Yes.
Like, is this real? I mean, obviously, yeah, you realize it is real, but there is like, I would believe why someone could live there their entire life and be like, nah, it's
It's an urban
it's just
legend.
an island. Yeah.
Yeah, old wives' tale. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I did also love the sheriff when like Patricia explains everything and he just goes, nope, I'm out. Yeah, nope, I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
The sheriff is the
So
most
fair.
relatable character,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
She's like, so you believe me? He's like, I don't care if this is real or not. I'm leaving. I don't want to do this.
Get out
Yeah,
of the car.
Yeah, no, I think the scene where he's dealing with the son and he's just like, hey, can I call you a fucking pig as I walk away? He's just like, absolutely fucking not, you can't.
Yeah. That was a great moment. Yeah, there wasn't a character at all that I was like, oh, I don't like this person. I not, except for what's his name, PJ, BJ, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
really wanted.
well, yeah,
him
and
to die.
he's made to be like an asshole. So, and he
Yeah.
is like, I feel like we all grew up with like an asshole kid like that. Like that is just
Yeah.
part, especially part of like small town culture. Like I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think he needed more characterization than that. He's just the kid that's getting all the other kids into
Yeah.
trouble. So
Like,
Yeah.
and like I said, I didn't necessarily like the teenagers in general, including the mayor's son, but it was one of those things where it's just like, yeah, no, you're a teenager growing up on a small island that you've never been allowed to leave. Like, yeah, of course you're just bored out of your mind and just kind of being a shit because you have no other outlet.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially when your dad's the mayor, that shit sucks. Like that's
Yeah.
having a parent who was in local politics. It's not fun. Everybody knows
No.
who you are, and everybody knows that. Like that is not a fun situation. So you kind of act bad on purpose in that situation. So I'm like,
Yeah,
I get
Yeah, you
that.
have to act out.
I can
Yeah.
somewhat relate to that because of growing up in a church, which is like a small town in of itself.
Yeah.
My mom was on praise team and my dad was in the orchestra. So like they were on the platform every week. People knew me before I knew who anybody was. And yeah, there were times in high school when I was just like, no, fuck you. I'm gonna break
Yeah.
shit. I'm gonna
I
go,
want to be able to
you
do
know?
Yeah, of
whatever I
course.
want. I want to be my own person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Aw, sweet.
Aw.
We've been having
Fucking
a rough
legend.
couple of weeks here in the house.
Oh.
Aw, I'm sorry.
I'm talking about myself. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, no, and one thing I really liked about the show is that again, it didn't overstay its welcome. Going back, we've talked a lot about on the show, just like things that just draw themselves out and are way too long for the sake of being too long. It was very easy to like go through like 2 or 3 episodes without like
Yes.
losing
Yeah.
your mind.
No, absolutely. Another thing I liked about it too is the way it plays with the Monster of the Week format
Yeah.
while
Yes.
also keeping the overarching story. Because
Yeah.
in so many instances, you will have Monster of the Week type shows where 90% of the season is filler. And then at
Yes.
the end of the episode, there'll be one line that every single episode here matters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like,
I never felt like it lost the plot at any point, even when they did like the flashback episode. Like I was like, okay, this is going back to give context to a lot of stuff going on.
yeah.
Ugh. I'm trying to like articulate this thought, but I'm like, because you guys are talking about the humor, which I think is very nice because it is so quick. Like it's a quick note and it happens and it's hilarious, but they don't linger on a point. They don't belabor a joke. And I felt the same thing with any of the tension building. A lot of things you can miss. One of the things that I missed on my first watch, but not on my second, I think it's episode 8. It's the one with the boogeyman where she leaves the house, she's about to go to bed, and she leaves the house to check on her car because the car alarm's going off, and she distinctly closes the door before she walks to her car, and then when she walks back to her house, the door is wide open, and I completely fucking missed that the first time. And my partner's like, I was watching with my partner, and he's like, I'm pretty sure she closed the door. And I was like, I didn't even fucking notice that. We had to rewind. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, he's in the fucking house. But they have those like tiny moments that happen all the time. Yeah. You're like, something's there. I might have missed that, but
it blinking. Was one of those things where like that did help me hold the attention, because like I realized very quickly, it's like this is a show where you really do have to pay attention to like what's going on in this.
Yes.
You can't be looking away. And I also do appreciate that, because a lot of shows these days, and this is normal with the Netflix and binging formula of like, hey, we expect you not to be paying attention, so we're just gonna like hammer home what's happening all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the show didn't really do that.
It's not second screen. Like they want you to be paying full attention because you're going to miss things. Like, again, going back to the party episode, granted, I noticed this on a second viewing, but there's 2 times where you could see the crowd of people and they have their mouths wide open. They have it in a mirror shot and again in a pan shot. And I missed it the first time. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, it's right there. And I was like, if I was looking at my phone, I would have completely missed that.
Yeah, there was definitely several times where I was on my phone, looked up and be like, I missed something. I need to rewind.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I missed that they did it in the mirror. I caught the when she's dancing pan shot.
Yeah, I caught both luckily on my viewing, but that was the time where I just wasn't paying attention.
It is.
At that point. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it is definitely a blink and you miss that thing. But I do appreciate the fact that basically, again, going back to my thing, it's like they never really mention it again, and it is a thing that happened in the show and is important to know. But they're not going to be like, you and your crazy party that you threw that turned it to people trying to drown themselves. Like, no, like they don't hammer home that point. I think they bring it up one more time, and even then was just like, it was a...
Well, the time that they bring it up is a plot device, because Patricia is on the drugs, and then the sheriff comes in and goes, no, I need you to come down to the station so we can talk about what happened the other night, because some people want to press charges. And then she's like, fuck, okay, I'll be right back. And then it's the only time it's really mentioned.
Yeah.
They mentioned it when she breaks up the book club too, but like very quickly they're like, why the fuck are you in my house? Last time I saw you, you apparently drugged us. But like, and again, it's a very quick thing. They don't belabor that point because it is still happening in the continuity. So they didn't forget about it. It's not a throwaway episode, but it's still like, hey, remember that fucking thing you did? That was weird. Like it's still part of the story.
It feels organic. It feels like a thing that would be brought up in that context.
Yeah.
I really thought they were going to kill that whole book club. I'm glad they didn't go that direction. I was like, that would be such a bummer. If they
well, they have been sad about it, though.
Well, honestly, that's kind of interesting, too, because, like, I do understand, especially, that's a good framing device, to be honest. Like, Patricia seems so sympathetic for a really long time until she gets called out. It's like, she actually did a really fucking shitty thing that hurt a lot of people. And of course they're fucking mad. Like, their friends actually died and she made up this story. I mean, she does cover that later that wasn't her intention, but that's how these people remember it and how she keeps putting forward the story. So it's just like, oh, okay. You know, I now not unfortunately, but I'm like, I see it from both sides now. Cause I'm like, oh, this is small town fucking gossip. This shit, it happens so quickly and it gets out of control.
It becomes the whole thing where it's like you get caught up on the lie and like trying to come clean about it. It doesn't help you.
No. No, yeah.
I know.
Anyways, one of the thoughts I had about this, and this was in relation to, one, this was an Apple TV show. Two, I never really heard of the show until it got recommended here. And we talk about it a little bit, especially like in some of the in-between stuff that we talk about on the show. Like, it kind of sucks that this is behind such a paywall and is very inaccessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this seems like the kind of show that, like, I feel like more should watch, but again, it's a bit of a tall ask to tell somebody who's like, oh, you got to get on Apple TV.
Yeah, I think some of that is the streaming model and how like, oh, you want me to sign up for another streaming service? Because like, I think that this show, like back in the 2000s or the early 2010s, 2010s would have been on HBO. It would have been on
Yeah.
Showtime.
Yeah,
And
or an
most
AMC,
people,
maybe. No.
yeah, my point was ultimately like that because of how cable subscriptions worked, a lot of people would have just for an additional $2 gotten HBO, and then that would have opened it up to so many more people, like a Game of Thrones, like a Sopranos, like something like that. But with this, and it's also Apple TV. I was recommending a show to my goddaughter. I was recommending Severance, and she was like, "What's that on?" And I said, "Oh, it's on Apple TV." And she goes, "Oh, I've got a Roku." And I think a lot of people also don't realize that Apple TV is its own streaming service and not the
Right.
little box that you get.
Right.
And because
It's
she
another
didn't.
it's another thing that you have to download an app, pay a subscription for, all those things.
Yeah.
Because like I watched this off of Amazon TV, but I still have to pay like the extra cost. It's also like where I have like the Hulu subscription that comes with HBO, but like it's just like if I don't, like if people be like, "Do you have HBO Max?" It's like, hang on, let's see if it's on my Hulu subscription.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah. And that's always fun too when you open up a streaming service and you look for a movie and then it's like you can watch it if you add on Paramount Plus to your streaming service.
You're like,
We've had
please,
so-
no.
We've had so many situations in like the last couple of months where we've wanted to watch something and the only thing that you can do is like you can rent it on Amazon. I was just like, God damn.
Yeah,
It's so bait and switchy though too, because if you like Google it, it'd be like, "Oh, where can I watch this movie?" It'd be like, "Oh, it's on Hulu," and then you go to do it, and it's just like, "Oh, well, yeah, no, sorry, did we say Hulu? It's the Hulu blah 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 bundle," and I'm just like, "Eat shit! I don't want all of this. I
Yeah.
really fucking don't." I also only get subscriptions for this podcast, and I will say, like, anytime I recommend this show to somebody, I preface it with like, "It's on Apple TV. I know you don't have Apple TV, but I get the free subscription. Watch it." But although, to be fair, I feel like there's actually a lot of banger shows on Apple TV, which is kind of a shame that is like nobody has it. Because I'm just like, I think
Yeah.
I'm not to get any up at the top of my head, but I know there's a lot of really good ones on there, including this.
There's the Ted
I-
Lasso's.
I was about to say Ted
Severance, there's
Lasso.
lots of- Sam was wanting to get Apple TV on for a while, so we can watch some of the stuff. I put this off to the last minute because we delayed the show a week because I was in a fucking 2-week-long arbitration in DC, and so like I was
Yeah.
a fucking zombie
Yeah.
for the last couple of weeks. So I was just like, I
Fair.
haven't even started this show. I started it this week. I was like, okay, 7-day trial. Let's get this going. But we'll probably continue it on so we can watch all the Apple TV content that we want to catch up on.
Yeah. I don't know. It like Bree said, it seems like there's a lot of great stuff on there. I get Ted Lasso clips all the time on TikTok, and I always end up watching them. I need to just watch the fucking show. 'Cause
Right.
It seems great. But yeah, evidently they've got really great content on there.
Yeah, we were talking about Apple a little bit during the pre-show, and was just talking about it was just like, God, it hates me that this corporation that I have hated for so long is just doing so many things wrong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now the bar is low for tech
Well, yeah.
companies
It's
to be
in
doing
fucking hell.
anything good.
I was about to say I can't even trip over the bar. It's how low it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got to dig down a bit to get to the bar.
But no,
Just
like so,
about.
like I'll definitely be trying to get as much in with it. But it again, being the capitalist hellscape and millennials that we are, it's just like I only have so much time in my day to dedicate
Yeah.
to media, unfortunately.
Super fair.
And plus, I've got an 8-hour screen time I got to keep up. Yeah.
Yeah. Got one
I gotta
tech
get my
addiction
doom
here. I
scrolling
can't add
in.
another. Yeah.
You guys could always switch to Linux.
Oh yeah, because then I can spend 2 weeks of my life learning how to code. That's exactly what I want to do.
I have
Hey,
too
you-
much free time is the problem. You're so right. That's my too much of it.
I feel like the drug
let's see.
dealer
I
industry is
can
just
learn to
like,
code.
I feel like the drug dealer industry is just like, hey, your school and studies is great, but have you tried heroin?
Exactly.
I know this being a productive human has been something you wanted. How about just not?
Yeah.
How about
What if you didn't?
I will say I have ended up on a couple of anti-work like Instagrams and TikToks. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, no, I get it. Like, how's it feel being a useless piece of shit? Yeah, it feels like $24 an hour.
Yeah.
Just about if you're fucking lucky.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Brutal.
Horrible times all around.
Yep.
But at least we don't live on a
I
haunted
know.
island. We just,
You know
we
what?
sure don't.
I would actually take it right now.
yeah.
I'll be completely honest with you.
You get to go on some adventures. Cops don't seem to give a shit. They might even just like gun down the person you were trying to kill anyway.
Hey, one attempted murder a day keeps it keeps you moving, keeps the blood pumping.
Absolutely.
Uh,
As long as it's for a good cause, that's justified.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Hey, I wasn't born here. I can leave whenever I want.
I didn't really take any notes on this show, to be honest. Like, I was like, I'll give the show credit that I was just like, again, I wasn't second screen viewing this at all. Like, I was just genuinely enjoying this show, and it is such like a rare treat when I get to do that because, again, so many shows are built to be second screen. It's like it's nice to be like, oh, they wanted me to watch this show because they created this really great show and they want me to pay attention to it. I have 30 minutes after work where I can watch this and just enjoy a really well-made show, and it's this show is such a fucking treat and such a like subversion of like all the I'm just over the moon about this show because I guess it's definitely not one I would have normally picked, but I think it does the horror genre so fucking well. And this is what I love about horror. There's some really good fucking stories there, but I think the genre in general has been so watered down with cheap jump scares or gratuitous violence. And it's nice to see this like homegrown like. There's something very cozy about how scary this show is. I love it.
I mean, it's also a genre where it's a copycat genre. So, like, as soon as somebody does one thing, like, everybody starts copying it. I know there's a lot of discussion right now with Obsession in the back rooms where it's just like, now everything is going to be this style of thriller and horror probably for the next couple of years because that's what happens is, like, these were the low-budget bangers that went off. Now everybody's going to replicate them.
That is a legitimate issue with horror. The indie horror scene doesn't seem to deal with that as much, but you have we mentioned Halloween. That came out in 1979, and then the entirety of the 80s was just slasher movies, and here's our villain that we can put on the screen. And then you have like Scream in the 90s, and now it's all kind of self-referential and groups of people being hunted by one person. And even recently, the 2010s, like The Conjuring came out, and then everything after that was a clone of The Conjuring.
We
Saw
had the
and Hostel.
We had the zombie craze that happened from like 2004 to like 2013, give or take.
Yeah, zombies always, pun intended, always come back. Like zombies are one thing that like you get a good zombie movie and then it gets run into the ground within 5 years, and people stop giving a shit about zombies for 5-6 more years, and then something else comes out.
I mean, vampires are making a comeback, so that's always fun.
Yeah, it's true.
Fun.
Thanks, Nosferatu.
Yeah. I was about to say sexy vampires or scary vampires, and Nosferatu's both. So,
sexy, scary.
Why not boboth? We deserve it. Come on, bisexuals, let's get out here.
It's like, what are the Skarsgårds doing? Let's get one of them in here real quick.
Hell yeah.
Since we brought up vampires, when I was a senior in high school, my girlfriend liked the Twilight movies. I hadn't seen them.
I remember this.
Okay. And she told me once, she was like, oh, the dad is so hot. I'm so attracted to the dad. And so we watch it together. Bella's dad comes on screen and I'm like, oh yeah, obviously. Dude's fucking
Daddy
great looking. Yeah, I love him. And she goes, no, not him. Edward's dad. Edward's dad comes on screen. And I have never been so offended that someone was attracted to me, because I was like, that's what you think is attractive? What does that say about how I look? What do you no?
Oh, I hate those moments. You're like, oh wait, am I ugly? Do you like me so ugly? What's happening?
Oh no, you have bad taste? Oh god.
I gotta lay down.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
I have never watched the Twilight movies, and I have told Emily and Sam both. It's just like I have to be allowed to get top 7 drunk to watch the films.
For sure. It sounds like a good time.
Oh, so you've never seen the?
Oh, come on.
All right, you go get it, girl. Are you
I'm
back?
getting it.
Why is Bree not on camera?
She went to get an edible.
Fair. Not gonna argue with that.
I'm back.
Hey.
Edible already
Yum, yum,
ingested.
yum.
Let's go.
Still chewing, but yeah.
Anyways, you said so. I've never seen blank, and this is regards to the Twilight movies.
Oh, the
Renesmee.
Renesmee CGI, weird CGI baby.
No, my
That,
only context for that was that Jacob imprints himself on the like not even like the impregnated version, just like it would have been the egg of like
No,
whatever.
he imprints on her when he first sees her after she's born. After Edward has to eat her out of Bella's womb.
Oh yeah, of course.
And because that makes it so much better that she was actually born. And
by the way, it's written by a Mormon, so anybody wants to understand how any of this stuff works, Mormons.
Mormons, exactly. But yeah, and then he gives her the nickname Nessie instead of Renesmee, Nessie. And Bella says, "You named my daughter after the Loch Ness monster," and then she pushes him, and it's a whole scene. I don't like these movies.
There's a reason why I say I have to be allowed to get top 7 drunk.
Yeah, you do.
By all means, you deserve it.
Like it's just like I have to get just drunk enough to where I know I'm gonna be hungover in the morning, but not so drunk that like I almost die.
Yeah, don't do that.
No. Sorry.
No.
I suddenly remembered that clip from Obsession.
Yeah. Again, like everything I know about Twilight is only things that I've heard of in passing from people referencing on the internet. So like I could probably do similar to where I could describe the plot of Game of Thrones. Only from what I understand from Tumblr and like clips online that I've seen.
Yeah. For me, I've only seen the first one, and then everything else. How Did This Get Made? I think has done all of the other ones, and so that's how I know those.
Remember, we can all blame this on 9/11.
Oh my god. But hey, good things did come out of that too, like Ellen DeGeneres getting called out. That's the only good thing that happened there.
That's the only
thing that happened as a result of that?
Is that the only good thing that came out of 9/11?
Well, My Chem.
Well, that's the joke. My Chemical Romance definitely was inspired by them. That's how we got Twilight, which is how we get Robert Pattinson's movie where he plays the person that ends with him dying in 9/11.
Oh, see, yeah.
All comes from
and the
all
snake
connected.
eats its tail.
Yeah, and then we watch The Odyssey.
Yep. All right. I don't know, that bow clip, it's got just pure aura.
I made a joke the other night because I was at game night with a bunch of friends, and I made the joke where it's just like, it's really great that Tom Holland got to star in a movie where he can't spoil it because it's been around for 3,000 years.
Yeah. He's doing good with the new Spider-Man. Okay. What the fuck is going on with Avengers Doomsday? This studio has no faith in this movie. First off,
of course not.
They didn't put the trailer. Yeah, because it's going to be bad. It's going to be horrible. But they don't put the finished trailer ahead of The Odyssey, like a huge summer blockbuster. Okay, all right. They're holding off for Spider-Man in a couple weeks. That's going to be... Nope. They dropped it. They shadow dropped it on a Monday morning. The week of Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot Comic-Con was happening.
Yeah, so did I. Like I started getting videos from it today, and I was like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah. It's now on par with CES, where you're just like, you hear about it like a week later, and you're just like, oh, okay.
Cool.
I knew
But
because
yeah.
my partner told me the trailer dropped, and I said, "Oh, why?" Like I just like who's that for at this point? Like who's still watching those movies? Like is there a demographic? Like do those movies still do well? Like I'm so confused.
That's the thing. Is just like
Oh.
everybody is so detached from anything that's been happening in the Marvel universe since Endgame that like you watch that and it's a fever dream. You're just like, wait, what? Why is Professor X and Magneto here? Why is the Deadpool Gambit here that was supposed to be a joke here fighting?
Yeah.
Like it's just like, what is happening here? What is even the point of this?
Why is Chris Evans back? Why
Like,
is
what are the stakes? Like what? Like I don't understand why any of this matters, because we watched the Avengers literally like a few episodes ago, and it was like, it's just like, okay, there was a build up to this. We all understand these characters. We all understand what's going on. Now it's just like, okay, I'm so lost of why any of this matters at this point.
Oh God, yeah.
No, it's gonna be bad. It's like monumentally bad is my prediction.
I mean,
I'm
hoping this is a nail in the coffin for Disney to go back to going to a vault system where it's just like, hey, some things just need to go away.
Yeah.
For a while, at least a little while, for love of fucking God. Like, again, who's still watching those movies? Who's still asking for them? No one wants them anymore.
Like, Sam wants to watch Star Wars with me, and like they have on Disney Plus, like, here's the chronological timeline of Star Wars, and it's just all the Star Wars media put in chronological order. And I'm just like, there's a lot of this we can skip.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it I haven't watched.
Yeah.
And like,
why would you? It's bad.
It used to be where I would not miss a piece of Star Wars media. Now I'm just like, I can't even tell you if half of this stuff is good anymore because I haven't watched it.
Yeah. No, I don't know, that the whole like, and it's the MCU's fault of like, we've got to connect everything and just keep pushing and pushing and pushing it. And then they tried to do that with Star Wars, and it just, it ruined so many things that could have just existed and then been done and been whatever. And like, yeah, because I'm the same way. We've talked about Star Wars at length on this show, but I am exactly the same way of like, I loved it growing up. I'm so happy it was part of my childhood. I don't give a shit anymore. Like, I don't care because there's just too much.
Yeah. And I think going back to it, it's just like, I think blaming the MCU is a great scapegoat for it, because it was one of those things where it's just like, at the time when it got started, it was really great to finally be like, oh, they're finally making it like how comic books are, where they're all connected and there's stuff going on. But there wasn't the hubris to understand. It's like, but there's also the problem with comic books where once it goes on too long, it crashes underneath its own weight, because everybody cannot keep track of all the stuff that's going on. They can't be aware of what's happening on all these other issues from characters in comics that they don't read, from authors that they don't like. And history that basically gets wiped every like 3 to 4 years, because again, it crashes under its weight and they have to wipe it every now and again. We have to eventually have a Flashpoint in New 52. We have to have a Secret Wars. We have to do something that's like, we have to reset it, because we can't just keep building on top of this, because people aren't going to follow all this.
No. And if we're rehashing all of these story ideas, can I get one goddamn Blackest Night adaptation?
Right.
Oh God, please. That'd be so fucking good. It could be so good.
It could be so good. The cowards won't do it though.
No. That's the thing. I kind of want us to go back to that mid 2000s model of just like, yeah, give us a Blade. Doesn't need to connect to anything else going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
doesn't need to build to a bigger universe.
Yeah, Matt Reeves' Batman, like, it's just like, please don't integrate this into established DCU. Just like keep it separate. It does not
keep it its own thing.
Like, cool, you have your Batman. He has a story. It works. Keep it over there.
Yeah.
We've said this before. We shouldn't have to do homework to watch a fucking movie. I just want to go to
Yes.
the the movies are already expensive. You know what I mean? Like I went to the movies 2 nights ago, and I mean, I think altogether we spent probably close to like $60-$70, like with snacks and tickets and everything. Like it's
Jesus
not a
fucking
Yeah.
Christ.
endeavor. So to say that like you're gonna keep dropping these like subpar fucking movies, like it really just goes back to like we can't afford this shit anymore. So I have to be a little more
No.
selective. And if you're gonna keep giving me this fucking garbage, I'm not gonna watch it. And people aren't. People are fucking over this. And to your point, Aaron, which is such a good point, like for them to take so many notes from comics, except for like the point it's like, hey, yeah, we need to do a reset every now and again. Like we need to chill for a second and do something different because people are sick of the shit.
Yeah.
Why have they not hit that yet? Like why are we not there? That's what we need now.
Well, like we
Yeah.
also need new voices in the space because it got to a point where it's just like, cool, James Gunn owns DCU anymore. It's just like we've already gotten James Gunn take on comic books. We don't need him anymore
Yeah, we
at
don't.
this point.
I don't need another superhero with mommy and daddy issues, James Gunn.
Yeah.
Stop making that your whole thing.
Yeah, I was like, I already have those issues. I don't need more of them.
I go to movies for escapism, James. This isn't a therapy appointment.
And here's the thing:
That's
there was a
here.
time, there was a time and
Yeah.
a place for it. There was a time and a place for it. But like again, we need. I just want a break. I want like, hey, give us 3 years.
Yeah.
Give
Mhm.
us 3 years. No new Star Wars. No new Marvel. Let us get a break from it, and then after AI and everything crashes out and whatnot, and we get back to normalcy, whatever the fuck that looks like at this point. And then, okay, let's come up with new ideas instead of just rehashing the old ones.
No, I agree with that.
Please. Any final Widow's Bay thoughts at all?
My last thought with Widow's Bay, having watched the finale today, I kind of wish that this had been 2 to 3 more episodes, and then they just ended it. And because I don't know if this is a concept that can stay fresh for
No,
3 seasons, 5 seasons, 9 seasons, you know?
I would say
Yeah.
And
they could maybe stretch 2 more seasons, but I agree. I would rather them just have had like something to at least like establish like what is the end of this. Is it the curse ends, or is this like this is just how the island works?
yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, but like just give that kind of clarity to like it, and then leave it as is. I don't know if I would want another season of this.
Yeah, and they were greenlit for season 2 already because I mean the show's done
okay.
really, really well. And I will
Yeah.
say I'm kind of interested in how they play it because a part of the appeal of the show is like the novelty of it and the monster of the week of
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, how many more of the like and that's something I really enjoyed about this. It's like, okay, there's the Haunted Inn episode. Here's the hag episode. Like I feel like they kind of go through a couple different bits of the genre in each episode.
And we have
There's not
seen
that
how
many though.
Yeah, we have seen how Monsters of the Weeks overstay their welcome.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm interested to see how they will pull that into a season 2. Like I'm kind of cautiously optimistic, I would say, just because I'm like, this season's so good. Like I really like these characters. The writing is great. I think they have an interesting story here. But yeah, like I do hope if they're going to like continue it like at max 3 seasons, like 2 would probably be fine, to be honest, because I don't know how much story
I would
there
say if
actually
it's
is.
just one more season after this and they wrap it up, that would be okay. I don't want a Stranger Things where we're just gonna keep on doing it without having a clear idea of what we want to do. I think the show very much has a strong concept at its core, and trying to come up with new ideas around it is gonna overstay its welcome.
100%.
I agree.
I'm glad you guys liked it. I was a little nervous that like it was so new, but I'm just like, and again, it was kind of an unusual pick for me, but like I think it's so fun. It's very refreshing. Honestly, we're talking about all this rehashing and stuff. The show's fucking refreshing. It was a joy to watch. It was scary.
Yeah.
But a joy. A scary joy.
Yeah, no, I really liked it, and thank you, because I've been putting it off. It was like a show for the last several weeks. I've been like, oh, I should start that tonight. Scroll on my phone. I should start that
Yep.
tonight. Play Mass Effect, and so making it work, I enjoyed it, and I liked finally being able to sit down and watch it.
Well, we'll talk about that in the post show. Anyways,
Yeah.
but no, it was a great bit. I thought it was a great recommendation. And again, like one thing that I appreciate that about the show does, it does force us to watch things that necessarily we wouldn't necessarily pick up on our own and get to discuss it
Yeah.
from different perspectives and very specifically enjoy them from different perspectives. And like I think we all pick up different things that like really like again, like I was just like, this is more of a Seth show. I know Seth's gonna love this. I'd love to hear what he thinks and all that
Mhm.
stuff like that. So I really enjoyed it. And like I said, I don't necessarily know if more seasons are the best option for it. I would say one more season and then call it a day. But you know,
Yeah.
I'm somebody who just wants to see more original ideas, and that's what this was. Sure, it does
Yeah.
play off of tropes and other stuff from that, but it was its own original thing, and I really enjoyed that, and that was really refreshing.
Yeah.
Anyways, that is our episode. So the next episode is going to be a homework assignment, and I believe it is Seth's turn.
I think so. I had a really hard time coming up with a homework assignment for this one, so I have options. Considering we were talking about Apple TV programming, Severance season 1, is that of any interest?
I'm in.
Yeah.
I love the show. I truly do.
I've heard a lot
Obsession?
of good things.
If we want to keep with the horror train, do Obsession.
Yeah.
There's also a very, I don't think it's very well known. It's another kind of horror comedy like this in a way, called Scare Me. I love this movie, and it's actually one of the first things I wrote down for homework ideas when we started the show. But I always wanted to wait
Oh.
until Halloween season, and then it just never lined up properly. Or fun, silly, stupid Starship Troopers.
Ooh.
I unfortunately like all of those options.
Yeah. I was on board for everything, and they just said Starship Troopers, and I was like, ooh.
Ooh. Yeah, I could do any of these. I know there is going to be a lot to talk about with Obsession and Scare Me.
I was about to say, Obsession is definitely the most timely one of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of where a lot of the hype is. I do love a good Starship Trooper discussion, mostly because we talk about, fascism a lot on the show for reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
I'm
surprised
sorry.
we
What
haven't
reasons?
watched it already.
Yeah, I actually was writing it down. I was like, have we done this? Like,
It just seems like a one we would have done already. That's crazy.
We did it back in Movie Club. I remember it was a movie
Oh,
club.
Maybe that's
okay.
what I'm thinking
It
of. Yeah.
was way back in the LTA days.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. Yikes.
Severance is
I
great.
know.
I just don't know what we would have to really talk about there.
I'm
like I said,
leaning between either Starship Troopers or Obsession, mostly because I'm TV showed out.
okay, that's fair. Bree, do you
Obsession is
have
still in theaters, yes?
No, it came to
It should be
streaming.
on streaming by now.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, yeah. I think I'm gonna vote for Obsession because I feel like
Okay.
like you said, it's very timely and
think there's a
it's
lot
another
of
thing I've been
interesting
meaning to
content.
check out and I haven't, so
All right, yeah, let's do Obsession then.
All right, cool.
nice.
Anyway, so that will be our homework assignment for next week. I am TCK Media Productions on most platforms. You have that Seth23, who you can find on the Tiki Talkies, occasionally talking about how his dog doesn't like his taste in music, which is fair.
Yeah.
And then you have Recommend Yourself Free. That's our show, and thank you for joining us. Bye.
Bye.